Hey guys, injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video, the topic is why won't my injury lawyer call me back and tell me what's going on with my case? So this is the number one complaint against lawyers is they don't call their clients. They don't call their clients back. They don't keep their clients advised of what's going on in the case, right? And so my answer in response to this is really it's not really an excuse. It's a reason, but it's no excuse. Lawyers have an ethical duty to try and keep their clients advised of what's going on in their case. And in my office, I train everybody. Everyone who works with me, they understand that when a client contacts us and they want information, you drop what you're doing and you give them the information. Right? Now, I will freely admit I have sympathy for lawyers when I get a call from somebody who says my lawyer never calls me back, I'm mad at him or I'm mad at her. I have sympathy for lawyers because the practice of law has never been more competitive. Lawyers are hustling for cases, and there are a million gajillion lawyers in Chicagoland. And a lot of them are spending, multi-millions of dollars on TV and billboards and all the rest of it. And some of them are doing unethical things like having guys with police scanners show up at the scenes of accidents, or going to the hospital, or hanging around clinics and doctors' offices to sign up injured people. Completely unethical. If you have a lawyer who does that, here's another one I heard of. There's a lawyer who I signed up a client who I've known for years. I lost touch with him, and he gave me a call out of the blue and said he was in Chicago. He was involved in a car accident, and a lawyer called him and said he got his name off the police report. So the lawyer somehow got police reports, and he's calling everyone who's Unit 2. And on a police report, if you're Unit 1, the police officer thinks you're at fault. If you're Unit 2, 3, or 4, they say you're the victim in the crash, not at fault. That's usually how it goes. So evidently this lawyer or some company on his behalf was calling injured people off police reports. That's called solicitation. Completely unethical. Not supposed to do it, right? So that's the length to which lawyers are competing now to try and get business. And the bureaucracy and BS from insurance companies has never been more. So I do have sympathy. Believe me, there are days where I'll put in 10, 12, 14 hours of office work. And I am not kidding you. Like, by the time the day is over, the idea of getting on the phone with even one more person makes me want to pull my hair out, right? But at the end of the day, it's part of the job. That's why I say it's a reason, but it's not really an excuse. Your lawyer does owe you a call back, and here's what they can't do. I hear this complaint all the time too. You talk to your lawyer, they can't wait to get off the phone with you, and they give you some jibber jabber BS that is like not even like, they're not even really answering your question. They're giving you cookie cutter canned BS answer that's not really giving you any information, which, I get it. I try not to do that. I will explain how injury cases work in general terms and in what phase of the process we're in. That's important information for you to know. But I even have people call me who say, they call their lawyer and their lawyer's like screams at them and hangs up on them or whatever. I mean, that's really not cool. Can't be doing that. You would think that in a competitive market, lawyers would become more focused on customer service instead of less, but that seems not to be the case. And I think it's because there's more stress and there's more competition, and lawyers are making less and less money because, of all the competition. So the cost, how much money it costs a lawyer to get a case in, has gone through the roof. So that's sort of like the inside baseball of it. Here's the thing, like, if your lawyer's staff, his secretary, his paralegal, his assistant, the case manager calls you back when you call them, lawyers do rely on their staff to talk to the clients a lot of the times. And I'm no different. But when a client says, look, I'm really unhappy, I want to hear from my lawyer, please have my lawyer call me, then the lawyer has got to squeeze some time into their schedule and call the client back. And if they don't, they're doing the client a disservice. I've got clients who want a phone call all the time. They want to call the office every other day. And, you've heard that the wheels of justice turn slowly. Well, that is true, and it is very, very rare that something happens every other day in every one of my cases. Usually you're talking about weeks or months before things happen in these cases. And that's despite, remember, I don't get paid until you win your case. I don't get paid till I win your case for you. And if I don't win your case, I don't get paid. And that's true of all lawyers who work on a contingency fee. So I want your case to resolve yesterday for two reasons. One, if I get you your money immediately and you're happy, you're going to recommend me to all your family and friends and say, oh, this DeSalvo character is a miracle worker. He's the #1 lawyer in Chicago. But also, I get paid real quick, right? I mean, imagine if I could sign up every case and get paid the very next day. Wow. Would my bank account look great? Would I have no stress? Anyway, that's Fantasy Island. So my point is, if your lawyer seems like he or she is trying to do a good job, and they're apologetic, and when you do get them on the phone, they're nice and they give you an answer, but it does take them a day or two to get back to you and all that good stuff, have a little compassion, have a little understanding. They're probably doing the best they can. They may be neck deep in another case. They may be on trial. Their kid might be sick. Their husband or wife might be sick. All that stuff affects lawyers too. But at the end of the day, as the client, you do deserve to hear from the office in general and your lawyer if you really need to talk to the lawyer. And if they're not doing that, then you're doing them a favor by calling them up and saying, look, I'm not happy with the level of communication. You guys need to do better. Please ask the lawyer to call me. Just keep it professional. Don't have to be mean about it. And, I think if you do that, most lawyers are going to come around and give you the information you want and try and do a better job communicating. So I hope that information helps you. If you have any questions, or if you have a case, or you have a loved one you want to send to my office, you can always call, night or day, any day of the year. You can call me at 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. That number gets answered all day, all night, every day of the year. So even if I'm asleep, they take down your basic info and they immediately text it and email it to me. First thing I do when I get up in the morning is check my texts and emails, because you never know, right? And then I get back to you. So that's, real easy to do, and it doesn't cost you. Getting answers to your questions doesn't cost you anything. The consultation doesn't cost you anything. So really only upside for you, no downside. Got some great tools on my website, like the Do I Have a Good Case calculator and the Case Cash calculator. Gives you an idea how much your case might be worth. Those are free tools on my website. They literally take 10 or 15 seconds to use. They're easy to use and they're no obligation. And I built them, for folks like you for free to use on my website. Leave the link in the description. Finally, if you enjoy my videos and the free information I give out and the free tools I have on my website to help injured people, if you could do me a favor, I'd really appreciate it. If you could, I'll leave the link in the description. If you could leave me a 5-star review on Google, that would really help me out. We're really competitive in the injury space and people really rely on what they see in the reviews. So if you could leave me a 5-star review, I'll leave the link in there. You just cut and paste it into a web browser, click the 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Only takes you 5 seconds, but it really helps me out. So I'd really appreciate that. So I will wrap it up. I think I've talked long enough. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.